Hey, it's Michaela Gordon, and welcome to So Funny It Hurts, where we interview your favorite funny people and explore the trauma that makes them that way. Now, we're doing something new today because we love our sponsors so much here on So Funny It Hurts. And when I knew that I had the opportunity to work with these women, I'm all about being funny, but I think it's really, really important to also embrace being such a badass. And when I met these two women, I said, Lord, this is the way. One of them also has their own podcast. Please welcome to the show, Brandi, Moya, and Kristen, Lassen.
Wow. Thank
Hi,
you
bad bitches.
We love it.
I love you guys. Now, for people that don't know, you're the host of Daughters of the Road, which is an amazing podcast. For people that don't know, kind of give us a rundown of what you talk about on that show.
Yeah, so it's pretty much just a vehicle for women in motorsports to gain empowerment, gain courage, gain the discipline, knowledge, get inspiration from other women who are also in motorsports. So we like to interview people from aircraft to motorcycles and everything in between, and then, let them find their passion through that.
Yeah, that's so cool. And you're the founder, Brandi, of Sin City Moto Girls. Now, for people that aren't aware, tell us what that is.
So Sin City Moto Girls is a 501(c)(3). We're a nonprofit, and our main goal is to educate, empower, and support women in the motorcycle industry. So girls that want to get into motorcycles, girls that are already there, ride solo, kind of just to continue to grow the sport, right? So
yeah, it's amazing. Well, I have to say, for people that have been following me, I always wanted to ride motorcycles, and I had an ex who rode, but I rode behind, and I was like, I'm tired of this shit. I want to be their driver now. But I was kind of intimidated. And when I knew that you were doing your podcast, Kristen, I was like, can I come? Can I try? And honestly, it was because of the two of you that were so encouraging and so loving that kind of got me on my own journey, which I think we're going to follow this year, because it's really, you don't just go get a license and then you become a great rider. And I think for a lot of women, it can feel very intimidating. Kristen, can we talk first about how you started riding?
Yeah,
It's like
so
a great story.
I definitely went a route that is not like that at all. Not recommended, I should say. So my dad is a military guy. He's very much throw you in the fire and make you figure it out kind of person, or he was back in the day. And so when I was a junior going into my senior year of high school, he had this coming of age ceremony almost where you got your motorcycle license and you rode to Sturgis. My brother did it, and my brother had been riding to high school, so he kind of got the feel of it a little bit more before, but I was reluctant to get my license at all. I didn't want to do it. I was a nerd. I didn't motorcycles wasn't my thing, and I think it was maybe like a rebellion against my dad or something. I don't know.
Which is so funny because it's usually the opposite. Like, you get a motorcycle to rebel against your dad.
Right?
You're like, I'm going to actually fucking I'm going to button my shirt up.
Yeah.
I'm a prep.
Yes.
I'm a rebel.
I was like, my hair needs to stay together. But no, so it was like 2 weekends before I was going to do this epic trip. Literally, it's from Florida to South Dakota. It was 5,000 plus miles in a month. And I ended up pushing it off. And I was like, if I push it off enough, I won't have to go, right? Because I won't get my license. No! My dad made me get in the class because his friend was the teacher. And I was like, damn it! So I had to do it. And then I ended up getting my life together, I guess, and then just figuring it out along the way. So I literally, I said this on the podcast before, that when we were getting ready to go on this ride, we were in the cul-de-sac, my dad starts going, and he's like, all right, let's go. I dump my clutch and I fall over immediately. And I'm like, I'm about to do this 5,000 mile trip, and I'm dropping the bike not even a minute into this trip.
Yeah, I want to make it very clear that it is a long trip. And going to Sturgis, which I didn't know, I had found out recently, that's the conglomerate of where motorcycle riders get. That's the be all end all.
It's the mecca of motorcycling.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. And you just barely got your license.
Yeah.
Good. Continue.
Had no idea what I was doing. Literally. It was crazy though, because you were put through almost every challenge except maybe snow, you know? Like, you had to go
Holy
through
shit,
rain.
yeah.
You had to go through, like, being on the highway with semi-trucks passing you. You had to go, like, through twisty mountains. I remember riding Needles Highway and all sorts of Iron Mountain Road,
The best road
twisties,
ever.
and, you know, just pushing myself to the limit literally every day. And then after that trip, I was like, oh, I can do anything.
Totally.
Yeah.
Totally. I mean, you had to.
Yes.
Because I'm telling you, just riding around in the Red Rock Harley parking lot was a feat for me. I was like, oh my God, I can't do it.
Yeah. And imagine going from that to literally like,
No, that's insane. I mean, were you scared, or you were like, no, I'm just gonna do it?
oh, I was scared to death.
Yeah, because it's not like a car. Like, you've got no protection except yourself, your eyes, your focus. I mean, even other drivers are like, you got to be careful of. They don't pay attention.
Yeah.
Right.
You have to be on the defense at all times.
Absolutely.
That's crazy. Okay, Brandi, you found Sin City Moto Girls, which I want to talk about, but I experienced getting my license. Thanks so much to you. And when I got when I went to Red Rock Harley to start getting it's a 3-day
3D
course, and the first day was a nightmare. I DM'd you,
I remember.
and I was like, "This is horrible! I can't do it! I dropped the bike. I look like an asshole." I was so embarrassed, and you guys were like, "No, it's okay." And honestly, if it weren't for the both of you, I would not have continued the next day, because I think that it's a very intense thing, and it's a lot of like, figure it out, do your thing. But I needed that like sisterhood, and I feel like that's what it is. And it's not, I wouldn't think of Harley Davidson and think sisterhood. You know, you think of it more as like a male thing. So tell me about you creating Sin City Moto Girls.
So Sin City Moto Girls was created because of my selfish ways.
Hi.
I wanted a tribe. I wanted girls to ride with. I started riding motorcycles. All I rode with was men for the first like 3 years of my riding journey. And it was awesome. It taught me a lot. I watched what they did and took away the things like I thought were good habits, but I didn't have anybody to kind of like bounce those ideas off or like, do you think that was safe? Like I had nothing, like structure, nothing. Like I literally just followed the boys. It was like Kristen, like with her dad, she just had to do it. Like that was just a thing. So with me and my journey, that was the same thing. So I was like, I'm done riding with boys. I'm done like, it's not fun. Like, there's so many cool things we could be doing as with girly things, right? So I was like, fuck it. Like, I talked to some. Whoops, sorry.
It's I say fuck like water. Okay, like, Brandi, could you get out? I'm a little offended, and I'm triggered.
Like, fuck it.
I'll ride a motorcycle, but fuck is not allowed in this room, baby. Grow up, Brandi.
I'm just like,
She said fuck.
I retract that statement.
Can I get that back? Cancel.
Imagine, I like got my motorcycle. I'm riding with everyone. I'm like, could you guys not say fuck? Could you guys just not curse? I'm
it's okay.
God. Please don't.
Whenever I first started riding, everybody was like, because I was, I guess, a little bit of a square. They were like,
were you?
Yeah, dude. I was like super into like different things.
Were you a square? Or were you a king?
I feel like I was a square. But anyway, so like they thought that I was Mormon and that I didn't drink or I didn't cuss.
Wait, were you Mormon?
No.
I'm sorry.
Not that
They thought you were Mormon.
Yeah, because I didn't drink. And I didn't, like, I
Okay,
was
but
trying
what
to be
the
calm.
fuck kind of society do we live in? You're like, I don't drink, and they're like, so you're Mormon?
Yeah.
The motorcycle world. Like,
That for sure.
I was like, so anyways, let's get back on track here. So I was like, fuck it. Like, let's do this. And I saw that there was another group that did it. Like, they had a girl group, and they were doing it all over the world. And I tried to reach out to them because I was like, I want to connect somewhere. Like, I want to be in the girl world, right? Girl motorcycle world. I just didn't fit well in that environment. So I was like, well, why don't we create our own environment? Like, I had a few girlfriends that we had a lot of fun, and I was like, let's just do this. They were like, okay, cool. And it was kind of more like it was going to be like a little gang. Like, it was our little clique, right? But I'm not good at that. Like, I want everybody to be able to feel like part of something. So
Except the boys.
except the
No boys club,
boys.
bitch.
The boys have enough
No
fun.
fucking boys.
No boys.
No boys allowed.
But now we do have open rides because it is good for everybody. So,
Yeah.
So anyways, so that's
but
where it
listen.
started. It was going to be a click.
But speaking of boys, and I maybe more people will feel like this. I remember like watching Sons of Anarchy, right? Like that was my experience, and I was like, that looks so fun. But you see, the women are like the ladies. Do you know what I'm saying? They're not the ones riding, and so I feel like in society we're not taught that it's okay for us to ride. I even had a guy tell me a couple weeks ago, oh, I would never date a girl that rides a motorcycle. It's way too tough, and I would see her differently. And so, and I thought that was so interesting. And I was like, well, that's why I'm a lesbian, you stupid bitch. Okay, well, we don't give a fuck. How about that? Cool. Thank you for your unnecessary. But do you find that that's the experience of a lot of women beginning to ride? Like they kind of were taught in society that it's a male world.
I don't know. In my world, I don't feel like that's a thing. I don't know.
I think
I don't feel that.
Yeah, we've curated such a different style, I think, of people that we hang out with and experiences that we have. So we don't really mend to what everybody else does, I guess.
Yeah.
So like there's the culture of 1%ers, for example, where the women are property of, in quotation. And that's not, I mean, that doesn't sit right with me. I would never be like property of, you know. I mean, obviously, like when you're married, whatever. But no, like,
But
to
it's still
me,
not your property.
It's still not property, right? You don't own people. So it's kind of weird. I always was the independent kind of person. Like, I do my own thing. And then finding Sin City Moto Girls was like, oh my God, obviously. Like, this is it. This is where you feel like you're welcome. This is where you feel like all these experiences you grow from, all these people you learn from. So it was just a no-brainer.
Yeah. Yeah. I love that. You know, one thing I think that has been the most surprising thing with getting my motorcycle license and really taking on this journey was the spiritual aspect of it all, because I'm not a patient woman by any means. I have zero patience. And when I could not get on that bike the first day, I was mad. I wanted to quit. I was like, I'm over it. I'm not good at it. I was so upset. I went home. I threw a temper tantrum. It was so frustrating, as you know, because you got the text. And then the next day when I went again, there was this moment where I was just by myself in my helmet, riding, feeling the vibration of the motorcycle. And I was like, okay, we're here. Like, if you drop the bike, if you fall over, if you fuck up the clutch, it's all good. Like, it's just patient. And it was such a good example for sort of how I live my life and probably some of the lessons that I need to learn just within life. Would you agree that it's also a physical journey, an emotional journey, but very much a spiritual one?
Absolutely. There's like so many of the crazy ideas that have turned out to be good ideas came from being on the road. I feel like a lot of my growing as a human came from the road.
Yeah.
So I feel that.
Oh, yeah. I 1000% agree. Like, I think that's the thing is that for people like type A personalities, you don't want to try something that you think you're going to fail at or maybe know you're going to fail at. So for you to like open yourself up to this new vehicle that might hurt you, that you might die, like it's a inherent risk that you're taking, you know? And to allow yourself to grow through it, that's what mimics life in general. So it's a great metaphor to like how you can perceive your life in general. And I don't know, you just gain so much. You gain the community, but you also gain your individualistic style, I guess, of how you want to go about everything because you're in your helmet alone. Yeah. Maybe you have music on, maybe you don't. But there's so much time, especially if you allow it. If you go on long rides, if you like surround yourself with like literally what we are, nature, then you can learn so much. It's amazing.
Yeah. Yeah. I think the most surprising thing also, thanks to Sin City Moto Girls and Red Rock Harley, Lisa and I were both able to get our license. We did it together, which was so nice. And that little bitch was zipping around like she's been doing it forever, which also pissed me off. I was like, Lisa, stop fucking man. God, gosh, like me. And she was like, bye, girl. But it was really... I think the biggest thing for me is I do like to face my fears. If I'm afraid of something, it will give me more nerve to try it. And a lot of DMs that I got when people saw that I got my license was, oh, I've always wanted to do that, but I'm really scared. Yeah. And the safety measures that you get within taking this class are kind of incredible. There's a lot of rules around safety that people don't necessarily need to go in so afraid. Can you sort of talk about that for people that want to get their license but feel scared?
Yeah. So one of the good things about our dealership is we have a jump start. So it's basically a bike that's put on like a dyno, and you can learn to go through the gears. So like a lot of people are like, well, what if you see the girl whiskey throttle, the bike goes straight up in the air. That's what, did you have that vision at all?
No.
No? Okay, then never mind.
But also I was just so in my head that I was like, God, please don't fuck this up. Don't embarrass yourself in front of all these people.
So that gives you an opportunity to try it, right, before you're actually putting the bike in motion on the range. So yes, we do a lot of safety precautions, and the advantage to taking it at our dealership is that machine. So that's one thing that I feel that will take some of that fear away. Also having the support of other women. So if they do get on the Sin City Moto Girl private book Facebook page, or even just DM me and Kristen or you now, like anybody in the community.
I wouldn't.
Just for
I would DM me so I can contact you with Kristen and
and that's totally fine, right? But just having somebody to support you and know that there's people that, especially at our dealership, that care, that want to see you succeed, because that's why we're there, is we want to see people unlock that journey.
Yeah, I have to say that there was not only so much support with Red Rock when we trained Red Rock Harley, there's a lot of women that work there. And I was really surprised to see that. And I loved it. It immediately made me feel so much more comfortable. There's also women instructors. So you could go into class and be taught by another woman, which you are an instructor.
Right. So there's 3 of us, me, Lee, and Maggie, that are instructors at Red Rock Harley. And it's awesome, Michaela, that you bring that up, because like whenever I first started at the dealership, there was like 2 of us, and we both like rode. We loved riding motorcycles, and it's interesting how I feel like her and I both helped gravitate more women to the dealership, because they probably felt like, well, damn, if they can do it, I can do it. Mm-hmm. And I feel like that's helped grow our dealership too.
Totally. Kristen, I remember seeing Daughters of the Road, and that was really the spark that unleashed everything, because I was like, this is so exciting. This is so cool. Knowing the story about you and your dad, and really starting that way, and then really building your relationship through motorcycles. For somebody that's really wanting to try to ride, and they feel a little nervous or a little afraid, I feel like you're so vulnerable on the podcast, which I love and which I think is so nice for such a lifestyle that could be a little rough around the edges. What advice would you give for someone listening to try?
So for the listener trying to get into motorcycles, what advice?
Yeah.
Man, just go for it. Like with anything, give it a try. If you absolutely hate it, don't do it. If you find that maybe this is just a challenge, but you would actually love it, go for it. And don't let your negative thoughts ruin your day. Like, especially like when you messaged us, I really appreciate that you opened up to us like that, because it's real. When I went through the rider's course, I dropped my bike. Like, it's
say
so
that
natural.
a few times for people, because you're not prepared for that. And when I dropped it, I'm not one to get nervous or intimidated. I'm really not. I was so nervous. I was so intimidated. I was so embarrassed. Like, you feel these feelings that you're not used to, but it's not necessarily a bad thing.
No.
It's just life.
Oh my God, yeah.
And that's the best place for you to drop it, is at the dealership, because they put so many things on that bike to make it safe, so it could be dumped 50 million times, because that's part of learning.
They expect it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like you said, it is part of learning. honestly, like, I went through several motorcycles. I've dropped every one of them. Like, oh, well, you get through it, and then you pick it up. That's the main thing. Just pick it up, pick yourself up.
Yep.
It's fine. It's a motorcycle. It can live.
Right.
Like, you can fix those things. I remember one time, a vivid memory. Me and my dad had been on the road for a long day. Like, we've done 1,000-mile days just going across the country multiple times. But we ended up at this like hotel parking lot, and it was so late, and I was so tired, and I was on a big, like, a touring bike. And, you know, I'm like 5'5", but whatever, I can tiptoe the ground.
Mm-hmm.
So he was like, okay, we're going to U-turn. Like, you could see he was doing the U-turn. I was like, damn, I don't want to U-turn right now. So, okay. And I don't know why I felt in that moment that, like, I was anxious about it. I don't know. It was weird because I'm pretty good at that. Anyways, thought too much about it, was going into the U-turn. It was pretty tight. And I just, like, laid it over. My dad had just painted that bike. And I was like, I just immediately went into tears. I was like, oh my God, I just ruined this bike. Like, oh, like all his hard work, everything. I don't know, like 20 something. But he came up to me and he was like, what's wrong? Like, why are you crying? And I was like, I guess you just painted this bike. Like, I'm sorry. And he was like, I don't care, pick it up. And he was like, it's a thing. Like, are you hurt? Like, is that what you're crying about? And I was like, I'm not hurt. And he was like, stop. Like, pick it up. Like, he totally removed all emotion from that moment. And was like, get your shit together, Kristen. Like, pick it up. So yeah, like, it was all those moments that kind of just culminated for me to be like, I feel like that's the funny thing is, like, we talked about this. We have a dichotomy of, like, Brandi's a very nurturing, emotional, like.
Can I just say very quickly, because you said it, Brandi is everyone's, like, mama, big sister, angel. Like, the day I met her, she was like, hi, and I was like, hi, I love you. Like, you just are such a warm, nurturing, delicious human being. And I just wanted to say that because you make the experience so incredible. Just wanted to co-sign with what Kristen said, because you are.
Thank you.
And I would kill anyone for you. I just
Yes.
wanted to say that.
Same.
If anyone tries to hurt my
Same.
friend Brandi, I'll whoop your ass. Still a little scared of the motorcycle, not afraid of you, bitch.
I agree.
Imagine how much taller you're going to get when you're like just very confident on your motorcycle. I cannot wait.
That's why God made me so patient. I have to be so patient. He didn't make me good because I got to be humbled.
Yup. Yeah, but like we talked about this. Like, it's so funny because, you know, on trips that we both are on, she like begins to think, I've got to be tough now. I can't let these girls fail and like run up to them and like wipe their tears and stuff. I'm like, yes, you can do that for sure, but I'm going to be the one to bring reality of like my dad of, are you okay? Cool, let's pick it up. Let's learn how to pick it up. Like, realistically, how are we going to get through this? Because then, you know, you can grow. So I feel like that's pretty awesome when you put us both
It's like
into a space.
It's like a yin and a yang, and it works out so well. We took a really good trip to Colorado, and it was funny because one of the girls dumped her bike, and I was like, oh my God. And then I was like, oh wait, Kristen's up there with them.
I felt
they will be all right.
Yeah.
That is amazing that you guys can work so well together like that, because I think that you need that yin and yang, because also simultaneously when you were like, it's all good, you were very, and not in a tough way, very encouraging to me, and we're like, it's okay, you'll do it tomorrow. Tomorrow's a different day. You'll sleep on it. You'll remember it tomorrow. You brought in all the and I did. I went to sleep, and when I woke up the next day and I went to practice, I remembered everything from yesterday, just like you said would happen. And I was like, oh my God, thank you, girl. So you make a really great team.
Yeah.
And I'm so happy to be a part of it.
Yes.
You have a lot of success stories coming out of Red Rock Harley when getting your license. And I would like to highlight also our engineer of So Funny It Hurts, Chase.
Hey.
You went ahead and got your license last year. Tell me about your experience, because you're like riding all over the place now with your bike. You're kicking ass.
Yeah, well, you know, sheesh, that was in like, what, May of last year or something? I was in the middle of a show, and they're like, by the way, you can go get your license if you want. So So I did the thing, and then like, I left the country for a while, and then I came back, and then I finally got my bike, and like I remember the first like month of riding my bike, I was like, I'm scared to ride to school. It's like a 40-minute drive, and it's like on all of the highways in the world, And then, like now I just do it every day, and like just like anything else, you just do it every day, and you get better at it, and it's super meditative, and like it's a grand old time. I wasn't expecting to be put on the spot right now.
I know. I have to tell you, Chase was sort of the catalyst for me to get my license as well, because I see him once a week, and he was telling me all about his experience. And sometimes you need that. Sometimes you need somebody to do it first, and then you're like, did you like it? Was it okay? Yeah. And even when we were getting ready, I text Chase, and Chase was so fucking cute. It really is a family, because after I passed and I got my license with Lisa, Chase was outside on his motorcycle waiting to hug and congratulate me after I got it. And I felt so instantly loved and excited. I couldn't wait to talk to you. For people that are watching right now that want to even just check it out, do they just go to Red Rock? Like, what are the steps they should take to start the journey of getting their license and potentially getting on the road?
Visit the dealership. Come inside Red Rock Harley Davidson. Walk around. Meet. There's a ton of girls if you're a female, so you'll instantly have somebody to connect with. If you feel like there's not a connection, just stop at the front desk and say, is Brandi available? And if I'm there, I will go run to the front desk most likely, because that's just what I do, and welcome you in and show you around the dealership, do a tour. And if they mention the podcast too, like tell them to stop at the front desk, mention the podcast, then absolutely I'll be there to show them around.
Yeah.
So don't be intimidated, visit.
I have to plug her because Sin City Moto Girls has a scholarship program, which you briefly touched on because you went through it.
I was part of the scholarship program, and it was incredible. Thank you for talking about that. It was great. She's constantly doing all these events to try to raise money so that we can send women to these rider courses, because it's a big investment. It is. It's like $500 almost, and then you have to think about, I gotta get a helmet, I gotta get gloves, I gotta get a riding jacket, I gotta get a motorcycle, like all this stuff. It adds up. So if you take advantage of the opportunity and send in a video just describing why you want to do it, what is your driving force behind it, then potentially, she's doing 2 a month
We're going to try it. The goal is 2 a month, as long as we can continue to do what we're doing, raising fund-wise. 2 a month is the goal for 2024.
That's so great. And if they want to just know more, I know that Kristen said you do events. Is there a place that they can go to see what events you're having so that they can maybe just go meet everybody first before they sign up for a scholarship?
Absolutely. So we just launched our website, and I'm so excited. So www.sincitymotogirls.com. They can go there and check everything out. We have updated ride flyers. We will have a ride every third Sunday of the month. It's an open invite, men, women, it doesn't matter. Come and ride your motorcycle. We'll also have another meetup where it's more of a creative space. So if you're not ready to be fully engulfed in the motorcycle space, we're going to go off-site and do something creative with our hands, something we can move and talk to one another and build community and have people to say, hey, like, I'm taking the class next week. Can I, call you? Can I text you if I go through something? So another way for people to connect.
And say the website one more time for the audio listeners.
www.sincitymotogirls.com.
Thank you.
And Kristen, for people that want to listen to the incredible podcast Daughters of the Road, where can they listen?
Oh man, everywhere. Anywhere you find your audio feeds. Apple Podcast, Spotify, YouTube is big. You can go on our Instagram. We have TikTok. We have Facebook.
Yeah.
All that jazz. And we also have a website, www.daughtersoftheroad.com.
I love it so much. I'm so honored to be able to work so closely with the both of you. And I just wanted to have you on to really encourage women that watch and listen to feel like they can do it. Because I do. If it weren't for the two of you, I can't say it enough. It was something I always wanted to do for years. And after feeling so nervous and intimidated. It was the warmth and welcoming of the two of you that made me want to really do it. And I'm so grateful that I did. I also think that you have a really great balance for women that are listening where you can still be very feminine and still ride. Like there's no, sometimes as women, it's difficult to walk into spaces where you're not familiar. And I think that society-wise, sometimes we do get a little bullied or we do feel a little weird or it is hard being a woman. And I think that what you both have created, you can look, be interested in anything you want. It's all cool when you're riding, and you've just made that so welcoming for everybody.
Oh, I love that.
That's
I
the
love you
goal.
guys.
Yeah.
Thank you. And it's an
Listen.
honor to be in your space and to be here with you and to be here for the beginning of your journey and watch it all unfold.
Yeah.
I'm like, really excited about that, Michaela.
Oh,
Thank
yeah.
you, Marla. Well, listen, we're going to do a little monthly check-in, a full year to see how it's going. We'll keep everyone listening a part of it because I think it also helps keep me accountable and other people as well. I think it really does help. So thank you so much. I'm so excited to officially announce that we're working together this year.
Yay.
I love you both. And thank you for taking the time and encouraging so many women to really just strap up and give it a try because it's amazing.
We love you.
Love
And
you.
Thank you for being vulnerable in the journey of starting it because that's huge. A lot of people don't want to admit to either their failures or what they potentially see down the road. And to be able to be that safe space for other people to open up and be there right with you is incredible. It's
Thank you.
priceless.
Well, it's because I'm insane and I have no unlike you, Kristen, I don't have boundaries, so it all just comes out. How
We're all
it's gonna
trying to
fucking
find
come out.
those.
Yeah.
We're going to
I
have
can
these
cry at any
boundaries.
minute right now. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? It's where I'm at. Also, congratulations, Chase. You worked so hard.
Yes.
And I'm so proud of you too, driving in every day with your motorcycle.
I just so it's on the record, thank you so much to the both of you. And I mean, Michaela, you're always a great supporter. But it's such a great gift that you guys have given me. It's really changed my life. I really appreciate it. Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah.
I just wanted to make sure it was on recording somewhere.
And Chase, I'm so proud of you. You literally went and took your class and you were ready. We make it seem like there was a lot of time in between, but honestly, I feel like you just got your license yesterday.
Yeah.
You've been riding every day since you got your license. And that's how you get better, and that's how you're going to take those big long trips that we've talked about is seat time, seat time, seat time.
So exciting. It's so exciting.
Thank you guys so much. I love you. We'll
Love
keep everyone
you.
updated. Also, go to www.sincitymotogirls.com for your opportunity to get a scholarship. As the girls said, it can get pricey, but there are so many ways for you to be able to tackle this. And you can also go to www.daughtersoftheroad.com if there's things you want to learn, understand, know, or just stay empowered. Thank you so much for listening. We'll see you next week. So Funny It Hurts is brought to you by Pacific West Injury Law. Got into an accident? Contact Pacific West Injury Law. Also, there's nothing better for your mental health than a great workout. And our episode is brought to you by Fit Club, the only place to be. It's so funny, it hurts.